The Balearic Islands are a group of islands that are situated off the east coast of Spain. They consist of three main islands, Majorca, Menorca, and Ibiza. The flag of Majorca is the old flag of the Aragon Kingdom, with the Tower of Majorca in the top left corner of the flag. Catalan is the official language in the Balearic Islands. The capital of the Balearic Islands is Palma de Mallorca. Mallorca is the region's biggest island and has some really rich history around it. The Mallorca island has been inhabited since the Middle Ages. Traces of inhabitation have been discovered from the period 6000 to 4000 BC. During the Roman period, the towns of Pollentia and Palmaria were established. The economy of these towns was supported by olive cultivation and salt mining. In 534, the Byzantine Empire conquered it and administered it as a part of the Sardinia province. In 1229, King Jaime I of Aragon conquered Majorca and the islands, who ruled till 1716. During this rule, the flag of Majorca was created. And later in 1716, the Spanish monarchy took Majorca.
With all this rich history and it being an island, there are many wonderful attractions and buildings in this area. First attraction is the Cathedral of Majorca. The Cathedral of Majorca began its construction in the 13th century and was completed in the 1630s. It was built by King Jaime of Aragon and was built on top of an old mosque and was dedicated to Virgin Mary. It is one of the world's tallest Gothic structures. It has 61 stained glass windows with a giant rose window, which give it the nickname of the Cathedral of Light.
The next attraction is the Royal Palace of Vila Abundinia in Palma. It is opposite to the Cathedral de Mallorca. The site has been used for many years. It even predates the Romans. There used to be a fort built by Moore in the 10th century, which was torn down by King Jaime II, who made it a Gothic-style palace. It's a rare example on the island that has Romanesque style to it. The past royals of the island used to live here. Next is Ses Países. It is just outside the city of Arda. It is the remains of a 3,000-year-old Teleotic settlement. The village itself is pretty small. The perimeter of it is only 374 meters. The only thing that's still fully standing is a giant gate to the city, and some steps, walls, and pillars.
The last site is Serra de Tramontana. It is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It is on a mountain of 90 kilometers. It still has ancient terraces, landscapes, towns, and villages on it. It is made when there was Islamic and Western influences, so you still can see ancient Arabic irrigation systems. On top of it, you can visit the Monastery of Luick, which was a pilgrimage site built in the 13th century. The story of it is that a boy found a small statue of Virgin Mary in a rock. He took it to the local church, but it returned back to the cleft somehow. This happened 3 times. Thus, the people thought of this as a sign and made the monastery here. A couple of grapevines are located here too. The Malvasia grape is grown here and is used in wines around the mountain region.
Mallorca is also known for its food. Sabrosada is a sausage that comes from pork negre, a breed of pig. You put on brown bread or Mallorca biscuits known as queles. Ensamadas are pastries that are made with water, sugar, eggs, dough, and butter. And you can enjoy them with the traditional version without filling, or you can enjoy them with chocolate, cream, apricots, angel hair, etc.
Frito Mallorquin is a cuisine that combines vegetables from the garden and the liver of lamb or pork. In time of slaughter, pork is more typical, and at Easter, the lamb. In addition to that, as ingredients, Frito Mallorquin has liver, potatoes, red peppers, chives, fennels, peas, and tender beans. Eel pie is also very typical of Sao Paulo and the northern part of the island. It is one of the typical dishes in January during the San Antonio Festival. For filling the eel pie, you only need eels, parsley, chard, pears, and paprika. Another sweet is the Cardinal de Lloseta. It's traditionally made in the village of Lloseta, but now it can be found in any oven or restaurant. Cardinal de Lloseta is made with ingredients such as meringue, cream, Vanessa sponge cake, and cherry liquor.
Mallorcan panades are a filling that are encoded in bread. They're usually made in the Easter season, but now are eaten throughout the year. The variety is enormous, from lamb breads to pork breads, chicken, onion breads, and meat breads. There are also a lot of fiestas in Mallorca. In January, there's a Festas de Sant Sebastià. Saint Sebastian is the city's patron saint. There are a variety of recreational activities that are held in his honor. Bonfires and concerts are held late in the evening. There's also a traditional Corflac that seems more street parties as locals dressed as devils take part in famous fire runs. In May, it is the day of the Balearic Islands, where the Balearic Islands celebrate their autonomy that came into effect. Firo can be seen in the month of June. It's basically a mock pirate battle between Moors and Christians. You can see firecrackers, plenty of fancy dresses, and street parties that carry on throughout the night.
In September, you can see the Fiesta des Vermar. It is in the wine-growing village of Bin Salam that holds a Sir Vermar festival to celebrate the grape harvest. Events include the grape treading contest, a giant paella, mass village dinners in the town square, music performances, and the infamous grape fight.
The second biggest island is Menorca. Here, their principal language is Spanish, but residents speak also Catalan. They have their own dialect called Menorquian or Menorquí. Capital is located in the port of Mahón, also known as Mau.
Majorca, adopted on November 14, 1983, is the Aragon flag with the coat of arms of the Universidad General, which is the name of the old and once only local administration of the island.
Pirates used Menorca as their base to raid Roman commercial vessels sailing in between the Italian and Iberian peninsulas. To counteract the situation, Rome invaded the island.
For the next 1,000 years, Menorca became a Roman province, then the Vandals occupied it, and the Vikings came over, and then finally the Moors came over, till Alfonso III reconquered the island. In the 16th century, the Ottoman Turks would attack the island and burn the capital Citadela down and establish settlements on the island.
During the Spanish Civil War, unlike the other Balearic Islands, Menorca remained loyal to the Republican government instead of backing the nationalists. There are also a number of buildings and attractions in Menorca. First one is Monte Toro, which is a mountain that's 354 meters over sea level, the highest point in Menorca. The 13th century church and a statue of Jesus at the summit. Another place to visit is the city of Ciutadella. Ciutadella used to be the former capital of Menorca and has some very rich history. Here you can see the town hall of Ciutadella. It's located in Plaza del Born, and this striking town hall building was formerly the palace of an Arab governor, as well as a royal palace under King Alfonso III. Ciutadella's main square, Plaza del Born, is also here and is surrounded by 19th century buildings. The obelisk in the center was raised to commemorate the townsfolk who died trying to protect the city from the Turks. Like in Majorca, the Italians also came here around 14 BC and built a town.
This well-preserved site has a public area that's thought to be an old religious structure. There are also a lot of architectural marvels here, including a sophisticated water cistern system.
Fort Marlborough is the fort that stands at the southern entrance to the harbor of Mau. It was built by the English, but the Spanish took it over. Today, you can see reenactment battles between the British and Spanish. Lastly, the Albufera des Graus Natural Park is a UNESCO site that is the largest wetland area in Menorca. The park is 5,000 hectares and has a large variety of plants and animals. Birds such as cormorants, herons, or fish can be seen. There's a great natural reserve of fauna and flora here too. Menorca also has a large variety of delicious dishes, such as this lobster stew. Lobster is one of the most important ingredients in Menorca. This stew is served with a stir-fry of vegetables and toast. This dish, baked ray fish and a leg of lamb, is a combination of two delicacies. It is usually served with potatoes and stewed vegetables. 100% indigenous lamb meat will typically be served marinated with lard, sabrosa, salt, and ground pepper. This is a traditional recipe consisting of partridge stuffed with bacon, spicy sausage, and black pudding, and it's usually eaten in the cold months. These are tasty biscuits of various sizes and shapes, and are eaten throughout the year, but traditionally at Easter. It is believed these delicious biscuits have a Jewish origin. These biscuits traditionally have a shape of a flower with 6 leaves, the same number of peaks as the star of the Jewish star.
This cheese is called Mahón cheese and is named after the port of Mahón. Mahón is a soft to hard cheese with a buttery, sharp, salty in taste. The traditional way of eating Mahón is by sprinkling it with black pepper, tarragon, and olive oil. It pairs well with Madeira or Rioja. The Festival of San Joan is a fun 3-day event in Ciutadella that harks back to 1300s. It sees a man downing a sheep on day 1, together with bonfires in the street, dolled up houses parading on day 2, and jousting and fireworks on day 3. Day of Our Lady of Carmen is a festival that's held on July 15th and 16th. It is held at all harbors all over Balearic Islands, including Mahón and Ciutadella, to praise the patron saints of sailors. Mar de Deus is a fun event in mid-September that marks the end of summer and takes place in Mahón. It's one of the main festivals in Menorca and features a magnificent parade of horses and huge firework display. There are also a couple of traditional dances that are found in Menorca. Fandango is a Spanish dance that has a fast rhythm and movement. It has accompanying instruments like a guitar, large guitar, and a bateria. The Jota is a very lively and vigorous dance, although it has very close ties to Aragon. Every village in Menorca has its own Jota. Castle is a dance that is only in the district of El Castel. It comes from the word Casiers of Mallorca, which translates to run. The dressers dress up in a skirt, carry a stick around with ribbons, and dance with round crane shapes. They may form a snake, a snail, or even a star with sticks.
Now let's go to the last and final island, Ibiza. Dialect in Ibiza is the official language is Catalan, but the regional dialect of Banico, capital is Ibiza or Ibiza town. Flag of Ibiza is from the old Aragon flag with a 7-towered castle in each corner. It is an allusion to the 4 quadrants the island was divided after its conquest.
Recientes excavaciones arqueológicas demuestran que los primeros asentamientos en Ibiza y Formentera datan de hace más de 3,000 años. Se encontró una tumba en Formentera que data de 1,600 años antes de Cristo. Las pinturas rupestres en 6 fontallas y los ejes y discas de bronce encontradas cerca de San Juan y San Agustín proporcionan más evidencia de estos primeros asentamientos. En el 654, los cartagineses descubrieron Ibiza y fundaron la ciudad Ibiza, convirtiéndola en una de las primeras ciudades de Europa, llamado Ibiza la Pitusas, que significa pino cubierto. Los romanos lo tomaron en 123, pero no lo hicieron parte del romano. Los árabes se hicieron cargo en el siglo, permanecieron allí durante otros 50 años. Su impacto se siente en todos partes. Un ejemplo es el dialecto de ibicino, ayudó con un tremendo crecimiento económico. Ibiza fue conquistada por los catalanes el 8 de agosto de 1215. La leyenda dice que la ciudadela fuertemente fortificada fue finalmente capturada a través de la traición. La ciudad Ibiza en ese momento se consideraba conquistable debido a las murallas de su ciudad y su ubicación geográfica y fortificada. Sin embargo, el gobernante Heracles y su hermano se pelearon por un amante de su harem, con lo cual el hermano reveló la entrada secreta subterránea a la ciudad a las fuerzas sitiadores catalanas. Aún puedes ver el túnel atacado por piratas durante siglos. La torre pirata sigue presente, tomada por la monarquía española más tarde.
First site you can visit is Dalt Vila UNESCO site, which is the highest part and the oldest part of Ibiza town. There's fortifications built around to protect it from pirates. Second place is Ibiza Cathedral. It's in the old city and it has a nice outlook over the water. It's 15th century Gothic gold and silver monstrance dating back to 1399. This is Es Verdad, which is an uninhabited rock island. This place is shrouded in myths and legends as the 3rd most magnetic spot on Earth. It is believed that the home of the sirens and sea nymphs are here, and also it's where Odysseus' ship was lured to. Sofrit paises is a traditional Balearic stew, which is a mixture of various meats, chicken, lamb, and Ibizian sausages. There's also vegetables such as potatoes, peppers, and artichokes. País de Narcisos is a país with seafood around it because seafood is very central to Ibiza and the islands around it. Cabres goat cheese is a really delicious cheese. This cheese is about to go extinct as there's only 200 pure breeds left on the island, which from the goats that are made out of. They call this a farmer's cheese as the taste takes them back into time. The second week of May is a medieval festival. Here you can enjoy markets, animals, food, drink, musicians, shows, jugglers, entertainment, and from where all 3 religious groups from all 3 different ethnic backgrounds lived in harmony in Ibiza. On August 8th, this patron of the island, San Serasio, is honored with a communal meal on August 8th. There's a huge firework display.